Hey guys, it's Paradise, and if huge boss fights, lively player hubs, and a world that's actually worth exploring sounds like your thing, then you're in the right place. In this game, 1 minute you're taking down a massive boss with your squad, and the next you're just chilling by the lake fishing. So this could be the anime MMO we've all been waiting for. We've been able to jump in and get proper hands-on with the game, putting plenty of hours in to see what it's really about, so a huge thanks to the Star Resonance team for sponsoring this one and letting us sink time in so we can break down the features and give you a heads up of what you can do in the game. If you want to jump in for yourself and check out the game, hit the pre-registration link below to grab early access and be one of the first to play. Now let's get into everything we saw and what Star Resonance is. If you're seeing it for the first time, this is Star Resonance, a brand new fantasy MMORPG built for people that want a mix of high energy combat and slower, more social moments. It's all set in a vibrant anime-inspired world, designed to feel immersive whether you're battling in the dungeons or just hanging out in town. From our time testing, the combat feels fast and fluid, especially if you're into other action games. Some classes even come packed with the good stuff, invincibility frames on dodges, satisfying perfect evades, and bosses that actually keep you on your toes. Outside of the fights, there are life skills that mix things up with minigames like fishing, crafting, cooking, and gathering. Even from booting the game up and making your first character, you have a ton of options. In the character creator, you can tweak everything from the body type and skin tone to facial details and hairstyles, and every class is available from the start, so you can make your character your own. There's also an awesome video where one of the developers made a character inspired by the lead character in one of the popular anime series, and 26 made a character that looks like one of his favorites. Now, because this is a proper MMORPG, social play is a big part of the design. From our hands-on time, we've seen lively player hubs packed with other players, group activities that require teamwork, and dungeons built to be tackled together, which for us is what MMOs are all about. Now, if that sounds good and you're wondering where and when you can play it, well, Star Resonance is currently in beta, but it will be launching globally in 2025 on PC and mobile. During our time testing, most of our time was taken up by grinding out our classes as we love to level up and get more powerful. I personally picked the Wind Knight, which is an awesome class that focuses on flashy aerial attacks. I was especially surprised by how cool some of the abilities were, especially the ones you unlock later on with jumps, spear throws, and slams. It was a blast. The game has quite a few active abilities you can have, as well as being able to summon NPC creatures and characters to aid you in combat, making it feel like you have a lot of options. Speaking of options, this wasn't the only class we tried. 26 being a fan of swords and katanas, well, it meant there was only really one choice for him, the Stormblade. Much like the Wind Knight, it's packed with flashy, satisfying abilities. The core mechanic revolves around chaining basic and special attacks to fill gauges, so you can then unleash huge bursts of damage. And once you unlock the final ability, you even get access to a counter move. Both of the classes felt different from each other, and each class has its own style and skills that you can spec into and build out. Even after picking, if you feel like another class looks better to you or is more your style, you can switch later on and level that up. The classes available on launch are the Heavy Guardian, your classic frontline tank to soak up damage and keep enemies locked on them. The Shield Knight plays a similar role but leans more into self-sustain, and even some DPS if you want to be a more aggressive tank. For damage dealers, the Stormblade is all about fast, high damage combos, while the Wind Knight uses a polearm with quick, fluid attacks and flashy aerial moves. The Marksman is your ranged precision option, and you can fight alongside a Wolf or Falcon companion for extra damage and mobility. On the magic side, the Frost Mage can play for consistent damage over time or burst damage builds, while the Verdant Oracle mixes nature magic with healing and offensive skills for a hybrid support role. And then there's the Soul Musician, using music-based attacks to buff, heal, and deal damage all at once. Now, every one of these classes ties into the growth system, which is where the depth comes in. From the ability menu, you can unlock new skills, upgrade your existing ones, and swap abilities around to match your playstyle. And then there's the talent system, letting you spec into different paths, doubling down on damage, leaning into survivability, or focusing on utility and support. You also have the layer of your gear and endgame items that enhance your stats and abilities. Now, the open world in Star Resonance is one of those places where you set out to do one thing and end up getting sidetracked for an hour because of all the cool things to encounter. We were just minding our own business when we stumbled across a world boss hiding in a pack of lower level enemies, and yes, it did absolutely clap us, but if you're actually ready for it, you can track down these elite and rare enemies through the Monster Hunt menu and make a proper hunt out of it. It's not just bosses as well, you can get random events that kick off. One minute you're doing a parkour race, and the next you're in a timed challenge with a completely different objective. We had one that sent us into a part of the map we didn't even know existed, and 20 minutes later, we'd been on a full-blown underground region quest adventure. The map is pretty sizable too, with plenty of different zones, but even just the city and starting area are packed with things to do. From minigames to side activities and little distractions. If you're someone that loves exploring, there is a ton of stuff to do here. Now, exploring the open world isn't just about walking from point A to B, as Star Residence actually makes getting around fun. One of the coolest surprises was the wind-themed traversal system, as you don't commonly get fast-paced traversal systems in MMOs. However, you can ride gusts of wind to reach high places, glide across open gaps, and chain it together with jumps or wall climbs to reach certain spots. This is really cool, as some of the side quests and hidden collectibles are tucked away in places you can only reach by using the wind system or parkour system properly. We ended up spending a good chunk of time just seeing where we could go, and more than once it paid off with a hidden location or just a cool view that you would miss if you stuck to the main paths. Then there's this little guy and other wacky mounts with different designs, and as soon as you get them, they make traversing across the bigger zones way less of a slog. For the actual content though, there are structured challenges like dungeons with multiple difficulty settings, and we actually went through a couple of them and they are a blast. Bosses have mechanics that actually make you pay attention, and the scaling difficulty means you can run them casually or really push yourself. But if you want a break from all the fighting, there's plenty of life skills that let you slow down without feeling like you've stopped progressing. We spent time fishing by the lakes and jumping into botany to gather plants for crafting. Mining is cool too, as you can find ore veins out in the wild, then crack them open for materials that you'll actually use later. The nice thing is, these aren't just like throwaway side activities. The materials you gather feed directly into crafting, upgrades, and even some quests, so there's always a reason to do them. For example, you need to gather materials to unlock the player housing system, which leads us into this next feature. This is one area we didn't expect to sink so much time into. It's the housing system. It's honestly like a cozy game tucked inside of an MMO. After playing a while, you unlock your own private island, and from there it's completely yours to design. You can farm, collect resources, and fully design your house. It's actually crazy how in-depth this goes as well. If you've played MMOs before, you know there's always downtime while you're waiting for your friends to get ready, and having a space you can decorate, customize, and fill with the cool stuff you've earned is a perfect way to kill that time, and of course you can invite your friends over to show it off too. Then there are guilds, which take that idea of having your own space and scaling it up for your whole crew. You can set up a guild hub, upgrade it over time, and even add personal touches. Guilds have their own challenges, giving you access to proper reasons to keep working together beyond just running dungeons. Even in the beta with only 2 of us, it was easy to see how much life this could add in for bigger groups. We also really like that you can add guild pictures onto the wall. Well, that's just a slice of what we got to experience in Blue Protocol Star Resonance, and honestly, it already feels like one of those MMOs with a ton to do between the high energy combat, all of the side activities, and those social features. There's always something pulling you into doing just one more thing before you log off. Now, the game is set for a global launch in 2025 on PC and mobile, and if you're into worlds that mix together intense battles with a ton of ways to relax and hang out, this could be one to watch. And before we wrap up, don't forget to hit the pre-registration link below so you can snag early access and be one of the first to jump in. Here at Arekkz Gaming, we're 2 friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.